What's going on, guys? Welcome back. I'm going to do an intro and an outro to this video, and I'm also going to answer several questions I got after the last video I posted with me bass fishing the day after ice out. I got almost 10 emails asking if I could give some tips on ice out bass fishing up here in New England. And kind of the three main tips I have and that I go by, solely up here in Maine, is when I fish ice out conditions, I always look for smaller bodies of water that have streams that I can fish either coming in or out of the pond. And I'm not looking for a stream that's several miles long. I'm looking for, streams that are 100 yards or less. Sometimes the smaller the better, because what them fish are doing is they're heading up into the streams because that stream water is significantly warmer than the main body of the pond. And once I've either got done fishing the streams, or if the body of water I'm fishing doesn't have a stream, I look for shallow rocky coves. It's kind of the same principle. The rocks will heat up the water a little bit and attract fish. And even, a couple degrees makes a big difference. And if I can't find a shallow rocky cove, a shallow rocky shoreline will do. That's kind of the next best thing. Again, same principle. The rocks warm the water up a little more. And as far as lures, I like using moving baits that make a lot of vibration. And if you get in the right pocket of fish, either in the stream, a rocky cove, or a rocky shoreline, them fish will hit a moving bait. A lot of people say you have to fish slow, which you can fish them that way, but you can also cover 10 times the amount of water fishing like a spinnerbait, which I prefer to fish. A crankbait would work too. I don't do a lot of crankbait fishing, but them will work. So them are my kind of, three biggest tips there on how to fish ice out conditions. I just got done using them same three principles here today on this small body of water, and I had a fantastic day. Caught a ton of fish. I unfortunately had to paddle 2 miles around where I wanted to get to, just because the wind is blowing exactly where I wanted to fish, and it was too much to paddle down that way. So I had to kind of paddle around to get out of the wind. I fished a wind-blown rocky shoreline that turned into a little stream going out of this place, and the fish were pretty much stacked up, one on top of the other down there. So it was definitely worth a paddle. Then from that area, I tried to paddle about a half mile back to where I got to take my kayak out. And unfortunately, the wind was coming right up my nose and I couldn't make it. It was too much wind. So I had to paddle about 2 miles back. So I paddled probably close to 5 miles today, but it was well worth it because I caught a ton of fish. So we're gonna get right into it and hopefully you guys enjoy. All right, finally made it over to the shoreline. I'm hoping that the fish are stacked up on. There's a little stream I'm heading up towards. It's right around this little point over here. Hoping there'll be some fish over around that stream. That should be kind of right where the warmest part of the lake is over at this little stream area. Very strange wind patterns today. I'm literally getting blown in like every direction. All right, here's the stream. Got my fingers crossed as to where some of the fish are hanging out. This little stream right here to my right. Should be seeing it coming in any second. Hoping there's some fish over here. There's a fish. There's a fish. That feels like a nice one. That feels like a nice one. Come on, get out of that brush. Oh, that's a nice fish. That's a nice bass. That's a nice bass. I knew there'd be a nice fish hanging up in there. Oh, come on, don't spit it, don't spit it, don't spit it. Yes! Whoo! That thing's a tank. All right, I got a nose up here so I don't get blown off. All right, guys, I just kind of beached myself here. Just like I was hoping. That is a very nice female. Came over to this little stream area because I knew they'd be hanging out here. I don't have anything to measure how warm the water is, but these little stream areas always hold fish early season like this. 4 or 5 days after ice out, especially the big females, they like to come up in these areas where the water is nice and warm. But she came kind of right off this little point here. I don't know how well you can see that. She was kind of hanging out between this little brush and the shoreline brush there. But glad there was a fish here. It's been very hard fishing today, and that was a Beautiful fish. Okay, so that was a lone fish here. I was really hoping there'd be more in here, but there's another channel I don't think I'll be able to get to. That one has some, that other channel has a rocky bottom, which I figured they'd be probably in there a little better than here because this is a mucky bottom. But I'm still gonna skate this shoreline and see if I can make it over to that shoreline. Them white caps are going right against that stream I want to go fish. I don't know if I want to head down there because that's going to be a treacherous paddle back. I'm debating if I want to go try that stream. All right, I'm going to get my anchor ready. I'm going to head down and see what the stream looks like. I'm thinking I'll be able to kind of come back this shoreline and stay out of the wind for the most part on the way back. But I got to get an anchor ready just in case. All right, here we go. I'm gonna head down to the stream. It's probably about a mile paddle. Man, that wind is insane. I don't even know if I'll be able to fish down here. There's a fish. Oh no. Just like I figured. Wind-blown shoreline, rocks. Probably gonna be a ton of fish over in here. Once I get shallow enough, I'm going to drop my anchor and... Oh, that's another nice bass. Okay, I'm going to drop my anchor. All right. Not a bad bass. I'm not going to pop the front camera on. It's like a 2-pound bass. I'm in a kind of wind-blown, as you can see, rocky shoreline. This is a rockier shoreline of the lake, which normally attracts a lot of heat this time of year. And I just had another hit over there. Oh, there's a fish. Yep, this is where the fish are going to be. They're going to be on this shoreline over here. Another nice bass, another 2-pounder probably. Here we go, another one, second cast. I don't really like my position right now. But thankfully, the waves aren't quite big enough where they're coming. There's another one. Yeah. I knew the fish would be over here. Oh, that's another nice one. Nice fat female right there. That is third bass, third cast. And technically, I'm not even in the stream area on a fish. I'm kind of one cove away from it. These fish aren't right up against shore. They're kind of right in the mouth of this little cove right here. It's really too windy to use anything except a spinnerbait or a crankbait or something like that. I didn't bring any crankbaits. It's way too windy to use any flukes or any weighted type of lures. I mean, I'd have to use a serious weighted brush hog or Texas rig to, you know, even be able to manage this wind. So kind of moving baits is the only thing I'm going to stick with today. Oh, that was a big bass. Oh my God. That was a monster. Just nipped the end of it. That was a giant bass. Come on. No. That was bigger than that first one I caught. All right, I know you guys can't see it well, but right around this bend is that channel I've been talking about. Just a little tiny channel that comes out of this place. Just enough where the bass can kind of get up there and get warm. Oh, there's a fish. There we go, got him. Got him. All right, I'm gonna try to drop my anchor. That's another nice bass. Oh, that's a big bass. What a mess. This wind is terrible. Oh, there we go, nice bass. Here we go, another nice bass. Not quite as big as that first one I caught, but right there is that channel I've been talking about. So hopefully I don't get swamped here. I just took my anchor trolley off because I'm kind of swapping it around a little bit, and I kind of underestimated how windy it was going to be today. Oh, there's a fish. Feels like a nice one. Not as big as it felt, just because of the wind. Still a nice one, but there we go, nice fat female. And all these fish are kind of hanging right in the mouth of where that stream comes out. All right, we're gonna head right into this little channel here. I'm gonna see if I can safely dock off. If I can, I'm gonna adjust my my anchor a little bit. And I'll just kind of show you guys what this channel looks like. It's not much, just kind of wraps in there as far as that tree line goes. All right guys, so this is all this little stream is. Kind of comes into this little cove. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but over this little brush line is where that stream winds out. I'm not gonna head up in there. If I can nose in enough, I may cast in there. All right, so that anchor position will give me a little better advantage against the wind. I won't be sitting sideways to the waves. So what I'm gonna do is head back out, anchor. I'm gonna fish this other little mini cove off to the right here. Oh, them waves don't look good for the paddle back. All right, what I'm gonna do is get positioned. I'm gonna drop my anchor, and I should have a much better advantage with the anchor. Yeah, that anchor is working a lot better. My back is to the waves, so I'm actually able to fish with the wind, but there may not be any fish over here, who knows. There we go. Oh, that's a nice fish. That feels like a nice one. It's so hard to tell because they fight so good. Oh no, he's not as big as I thought he was. Tell you what, this fish is a champ. That fish felt about 3 times the size of it actually is. Nice, nice fat female. Same thing, kind of a rocky bottom. All wind blown, as you can see. Oh, there's another one. There's another one. Not the biggest, but solid. These fish are absolutely stacked up on this wind-blown shoreline. I fished that whole other shoreline and just caught that one up in that little cove channel. And what I'm doing is just kind of slow rolling this spinnerbait. And another fish right there. I'm just slow rolling this spinnerbait. You know, I don't know, I'm kind of bouncing a rock, so I mean it's relatively on the bottom. Here we go. One of the smallest ones of the day, but hit like a champ. We're gonna head down this way just a little ways. There's another cove, possibly 2 I want to try. But the hard thing is I am full wind. I'm not gonna anchor. If I get hit, I'll throw the anchor out, but I'm gonna just pound this shoreline and hopefully pick up another fish or 2. Yep, there's a fish. All right, gonna drop the anchor. Fish is under my kayak right now and probably hooked in my anchor line. Dang it. I don't know if I'll be able to get that. Oh, that's a nice bass hooked in my anchor line. Dang it. Oh, that's some serious water. And I gotta, oh, I think he's off. I think that fish came off. What a mess. What a mess. Oh, that's a big bass too. There we go. Nice bass. What a mess. He got hung up in my anchor line and he popped off, and I was trying to get some extra line out. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that fish. That's another solid bass. Another nice female. I'm gonna just kind of hang right here for a minute. All right, should be some bass holding up in this cove over here. there's a fish. There we go. There we go. Small one. Hit it like he was a monster though. Alright, that wind's insane. Probably 30-mile-an-hour gusts right now. Easily 30. Yeah, I can't even paddle. I'm gonna have to probably go back the way I came. There's just too much wind facing me. I'm hoping I can get away from all that on the shoreline over here. I think I'm just gonna have to paddle the long way back. All right, folks, I'm gonna call it quits there. There's just too much wind. I'm gonna pull over and put my GoPros away. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we'll catch you on the next one.